Hello and welcome to Link Ahead, the City of Dublin podcast. And once again, we are bringing you a Link Ahead first with not one, not two, but three guests who are also separated by more than 3,000 miles. Here's a hint. One of them is joining us from Ireland.
That's right. Yep, it's that time. The largest three-day Irish festival in the world is almost here. We're just pumped to have three members of Step Crew join us. They are longtime veterans of the Dublin Irish Festival and be performing every day this year. So please welcome to Link Ahead, Jon Pilatzky and Cara Butler joining us from Toronto, and Nathan Pilatzky joining us from Ireland. Welcome, all of you.
Hi there.
How's it going?
We're doing great. There are a lot of tents outside of our building ready to welcome you, and we're so excited to have you all here.
Well, we're excited to be back. That is for sure. We've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Well, great. Well, we will talk all about you guys here in a moment. But first, let's talk about us for a little bit. The Dublin Irish Festival won Best Cultural Festival in the USA Today Reader's Choice Awards and claimed the #1 spot for the Best Suburban Festival in City Scene's Best of the Bus Awards. 100,000 people or so come to this festival every year. So let's hear from you all. Why do you love coming and performing here year after year? Cara, why don't you start us off?
Well, it's quite simple. You just said it. You were voted the best. It's the best. And, I have to say, Dublin was the first festival to hire us as the Step Crew way back in 2007. We had just put our little big show together. And we really, it was like we were just taking our first steps out there as a group. All three of us had performed with various bands and obviously with the Chieftains for a really long time. And we decided to put together this show, which put dancing at the front and center, as opposed to being, dancing with a band per se. And Dublin hired us in 2007. We've been back 5 times. This is going to be our 6th time. So not only do we have fans there, we're big fans. So it's really exciting.
All right, Jon, I know you said Cara speaks for you, but if you have anything else to add, why do you love coming here to Dublin, Ohio?
I mean, some of the best Irish musicians in the world all congregate that one weekend. There is, sessions, tunes to be had all around the festival, even in the hotel. It's a big, reunion of tons of friends, whether they be spectators or performers in the festival themselves. A chance to see all our I won't say old friends, but all our friends.
Long-time friends.
Tenured.
Yes, and we're all, we all tend to be on tour all the time, so we don't get to meet up all the time. So it's such a wonderful weekend, and just the vibe of the festival itself. It's very organic, yet very professional. Somehow they managed to bring both of those things together. Just the grass, the nature of it versus like a concrete, grounds or something like that is just so lovely. And, the committee, they make it so very, very easy to be a performer there.
Wow, I'm glad we're recording this. That was a great answer, professional and organic. That was a great ad for us. All right, and all the way from Ireland, Nathan, how about you?
Well, I was just going to add just the organization of it all. It's all very well taken care of. The artists are taken care of. The crowd is taken care of. It's very well done, very professional, and everything goes very smoothly. So looking forward to doing it again.
Awesome. Now, last year we talked to banjo legend and diff staple Enda Scowhill of We Banjo 3, and now performing with Gadan. He says he comes back here every year because the dedicated fans, the city staff, the volunteers that take care of him, and it's like a sense of family. So, you kind of touched on that, but do you feel that same sort of sense of family when you come to Dublin, Ohio?
Yeah, 100% we do. Like I said, we were just kids and starting out, and they took us in and they really helped us grow as a show. Like our show changed a lot from being in a performing arts center to then taking it to a festival stage.
Well, speaking of family, let's talk about Step Crew, because this is kind of a family affair, right? So Cara and Jon are married and Jon and Nathan are brothers. Is that right? How did the Step Crew come together?
I guess I'll handle that one since I'm one of the married and one of the brothers. So Nathan and I obviously been performing together since we were just wee lads. around Ontario and really all throughout Canada, step dancing together. Our form of dance is called Ottawa Valley step dancing. We bought tickets to go see the Chieftains here in Toronto. Both of us big fans, and absolutely just fell in love. Never seen them live before, but fell in love with the group and noticed this tall redhead dancer with the Chieftains. But we managed to sneak our way into the after party in Toronto and brought our shoes with us, and we ended up dancing at that party. And Paddy Maloney, the frontman for the band, took down our phone numbers, and about a year later we got a call from the Chieftains management asking if we wanted to do a big concert with them. That concert didn't happen, and we kind of thought, oh boy, we lost our big chance. But we got another call when their USA tour started up, so that was our chance to meet the Chieftains, perform with the Chieftains, and also meet Cara Butler. I won't get too far into that story, but
No,
That's a different podcast.
That's when he really fell in love.
Aw.
Oh, that's awesome.
so Nathan and I had never performed really with much Irish dancing, so we got to know about her style, she got to know about our style, and we started kind of mixing and mingling both Ottawa Valley step dancing and Irish step dancing, and eventually kind of an idea formulated where we were noticing such great crowd reactions in the Chieftain shows that we thought, hey, instead of a band featuring dancing on the side, how about we have dancing in the front and we feature a band on the side?
Well, I'm going to speak for myself because I'm not much of a dancer here, but walk us through this, because you mentioned Ottawa Valley first, Irish step dance, and also a little bit of tap too. So can you talk about how you meld all three on stage and then maybe break down each individual type of dance?
Go ahead, Nate.
Yes, well, words start to fail here. That's where you kind of have to come out and see the show.
Great plug.
Or at least look up some videos. Pretty hard to describe in words now. Most people have a concept of what Irish dancing is, and tap dancing's out there pretty prominently as well. But the style that Jon and I do is kind of rare unless you've seen it. A lot of people who see it for the first time basically say, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. So I don't know how I could put that into words for you, but yeah, so we try and we have lots in common and lots of differences as well too. So we definitely accentuate the commonalities at points, and then we take off into our own styles and try and show you the big differences as well too while we're entertaining you.
I can hear your YouTube clicks going up and up and up. All right now, everyone, try and go check that out.
So this is probably a good time to talk to you, each of you individually, because you all have such fascinating stories to tell. Now, Cara, you started out dancing when you were 6, and since then you've been showcasing your craft worldwide on late night TV, on commercials, and in movies. Where did that passion for dance come from and performing?
Well, to be honest, it happened very naturally. My mom is from Ireland. My mom's from Ballyhonus, County Mayo. And my older sister, Jean, was going to Irish dancing class. And me being the younger sister, I just tagged along. But I was too young to start, but I kind of had to stay in the class anyway. And I just sat on the sidelines, and then I just said I couldn't wait till it was my turn, till I was old enough. And sure enough, I got old enough and I started competing. We were going to feshes and then bigger competitions. And my sister and I, we turned out to be not half bad. So we just kept going with that. And I give a lot of credit to not only my parents, but to my dancing teacher, Donnie Golden, who really, really, focused on the culture of Irish dancing. Even though we were a highly competitive school, it was really about the community. It was about the camaraderie. It was about the music. It was about the relation to Ireland. And I started doing shows from a very early age, probably first with Cherish the Ladies. and then obviously with the Chieftains, and then from there it branched out to Solace and Dervish and Danu and Lunasa. So I've been really lucky as far as performing with, you know, the greatest of Irish bands that have, you know, not only in Ireland but over here. And I just, you know, genuinely loved it. I loved the music. I loved moving to the music, and even meeting, obviously, Jon and Nathan. It was something very, very different for me too. And you know, Patty Maloney literally said, we had a show that night. We met in the afternoon. It was like, okay, you guys, we're doing, you know, the Bucks of More and More, and put some steps together. And it was just like, boom. And we noticed that, okay, the styles are really different, but we can dance to the same music and we can make this work. And I just thought that was kind of magical too.
Man, you named some powerhouse entertainment right there, just those crews. So we also, a little birdie told us that you unfortunately have a not so great story from Dublin, that you might have had an injury.
Oh, no.
I did. I didn't break my foot. That was in China.
Oh, okay.
But I was with Dervish in 2000, and I think it was 2017. And yes, I slipped. I think I slipped, or my foot hit the monitor, and I sprained my ankle really badly. But again, talk about family. They took such good care of me all weekend. I was really, really well looked after, and thankfully my ankle healed, no problem. So
nice. All right, Jon, to you now. And again, you and your brother have more awards than shelves at your house can possibly accommodate. So you've danced and played on David Letterman, and for a Nobel Peace Prize honoree, you and your brother have received the Canadian equivalent of an Emmy Award, which is called a Gemini Award. What set you on your performance path?
Ooh, well, that's a very good question. I mean, I suppose it all boils down to the dedication of our parents. You know, lessons, the cost of shoes and costumes and gas to drive around the province and the country and the continent, really. Our poor parents put in the time to make sure that that we performed, and we truly did love it. When we didn't practice, the only threat our mother had to give us was, if you don't practice, you're not going to lessons next week. And that was enough to get us up and on the dance board. As you grow older and you mature, and I took up the fiddle when I was 9 years old, playing fiddle. So I used to consider myself a dancer who played music, and I've slowly morphed into a musician who dances. But yeah, just, you know, as you grow and you kind of develop your own style, your own ideas of what's great on stage, you learn from audiences pretty quick what works, what doesn't. Nathan and I moved to Toronto and started into a musical. It was a very big budget musical here they were trying for the first time, called Swing Step. So that's the very first time both of us, two country boys living downtown Toronto in the big city. And that show had a nice long run. And when it finished, we were like, well, what do we do now? Should we go back to university? Or and then just serendipitously ran into the Chieftains, and life continued on from there. So yeah, it's been a real journey.
As we like to joke, we got older and we matured, and most people get sense, but we didn't have the sense to quit, so we just kept going.
Well, we're glad you did.
Lucky for us.
All right, Nathan, I have to ask you a question. So you got the nickname Crazy Legs somehow, and we want to hear how Crazy Legs came to be.
Well, I don't know. I think it's probably the audience kind of came up with that one. You know that trick you can do with a pencil where you wiggle it back, up and down, and back and forth, and it looks like it's made out of rubber. I think I can do something like that with my legs sometimes. So I think that somebody caught hold of that and started broadcasting it around, and it kind of stuck with me. I've never been able to shake it.
There's spaghetti legs, there's rubber legs, there's crazy legs, and then there's he doesn't have a bone in his body.
Well, you talked about the different kinds of dancing earlier, but you also have incorporated Celtic music with funk, reggae, jazz, and rock music. How exactly do you do that?
Oh boy. Well, it's so interesting because Celtic music, I mean, it's getting more modernized as, you know, since I was a kid, it's really changed quite a bit. And that's one of the things that I really loved about touring with the Chieftains is they have a way of maintaining the very old style of music and tune selection. But also, like, it depends on who you bring in into the band and what kind of sounds you get from, say, an electric guitar or different sounds on a keyboard and stuff like that. Even a drummer versus a bodhrán player, and everybody can enjoy both parts of that at Dublin Irish Fest. There's a Celtic rock stage versus more very traditional stages. All that variety is being showcased these days.
Well, you have performed worldwide on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, on just about every continent, too. We have, to mention one gig specifically, you performed at the world-famous Ryman Auditorium with legends Emmylou Harris and Alison Krauss. Tell us about that performance.
Go on, Nathan.
Well, the Chieftains did 2 albums called Down the Old Plank Road and Further Down the Old Plank Road, and then they recorded it as a DVD. So all of the guests from a lot of the tracks were there that night at the Ryman. I fail to recollect what year that was now, but it was a good while ago. And yeah, there was everyone and anyone, the who's who of country music at that time. So it was an amazing honor. I think we got to dance to a track with Ricky Skaggs, actually. One of the highlights of my career, for sure. An amazing event. And I just ran into someone recently, a very up-and-coming singer here in Ireland, and that he came up to me when we were doing a gig together, and he came up to me and he said that was a DVD that his parents had, and they played it nonstop on their TV. So
That's awesome.
I guess it's inspiring a younger generation.
Yeah, for our younger listeners, a DVD is a round disc you used to put into to watch movies or videos.
That's right.
And that was one of my very first shows. I started as a dancer with the Chieftains, and then Patty realized that I play fiddle because I'd carry the fiddle around with me to all the shows, hoping to just have a tune with the guys, you know, casual backstage, something like that. And Martin Fay didn't show up for one of the tours. I think he ended up getting his appendix out or something.
Oh.
Anyway, Patty said, well, you carry that thing around if you want to come up and play it. I said, well, and I had heard the show many times. So that was one of my first shows where I see Alison Krauss coming out. We do a song together.
Wow.
Ricky Skaggs comes out. We do a song together. Emmylou Harris comes out. We do a song together. So I was... I don't think I slept much that night afterwards.
Awesome.
All right. Speaking of not sleeping, it's summer in the United States, and it's festival season. So what other festivals will you play? And give our listeners the inside scoop on traveling. Like, how many miles, how many performances? Give us the deets, please.
Ooh. So how many miles? We don't count. We're performing as far as this summer. We're at Milwaukee Irish Fest. Obviously, we're at Dublin Irish Fest. Then the week after, Nathan's at Goderich. That's correct. Jon is at Fergus Highland Games. And then we go to a beautiful festival in Quebec. I'm going to call it Traditions du Monde, but it has a longer Frencher name.
Sure. Yes.
And from there, we go straight to Milwaukee. And then after Milwaukee, we're doing 2 really special shows here in Ontario. Funny enough, like being a Canadian band, we don't tour Canada that often. We're usually in the States or over in Europe or somewhere else. And this year we're doing Pembroke, Ontario, which is very, very close to where Jon and Nathan both grew up. So it's a hometown gig for them, and it's at Festival Hall. And then after that, we're doing Hughes Room right here in Toronto, which is a big deal as well. Mm-hmm. And right from there, we go to Kansas City. And after Kansas City, we're back in the States for the Big E, it's called. And it's a really, really huge festival that takes place in Springfield, Massachusetts. We haven't done it before, so I have no idea what to expect, but like ZZ Top is going to be there. So it's a big variety of music and bands.
She's got legs.
She's got, yeah, there you go. And then maybe they work it
Was
in.
that written for Cara?
And she knows how to use it.
That's right. What is travel fun? Is it, we've talked to the lead singer of 38 Special. We've talked to the lead singer of a couple of bands, and they talk about travel being this kind of a lot of work. So what is it like for you guys?
It's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's kind of one of the things you'd want to get paid for to do this.
Yes, that's exactly what they said. Yeah, and I won't ask who gets into more fights on the road, the brothers or the spouses.
Nobody fights on the road.
I can only imagine.
No, you know what the key is? The secret is separate vehicles.
No. There you go. Perfect.
Separate everything.
Okay.
Perfect.
No, not everything, Nathan. Come on.
Well, we could talk to you three all day, but we have time for a segment called Rapid Fire. And so we did a little bit of homework. I hope it was right. And Cara, you're first. Is this true? You can't stand the smell or sound of someone chewing gum? Tell us about that. Why?
So when I was really young, bringing up my sister again, I was trying to be like her and blow bubbles. And I basically blew it straight into the back of her head, and it got stuck in her hair. And I think I got punished really badly. And since then, I don't like it.
That makes sense. That's terrible.
That is a true story.
Did she have to cut her hair?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad memory.
Speaking of bad memories, Cara, let's stay with that theme. You say you're a huge klutz and you've broken your tailbone twice. Is that a true statement?
So I have injured my tailbone, fractured my tailbone twice, but that was not because I was a klutz, but because the stage was really slippy and I fell.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a klutz. I'm not a klutz.
We'll make sure our stages are not slippery.
That's right.
In Dublin.
Yes.
But, all right, last one for you, Cara. You say you have 5 a.m. feedings for yourself and always have snacks around. So what are your go-to snacks?
So my go-to snacks would be, I eat a lot of protein snacks. Okay, so protein's my go-to. Lots of nuts, almonds for sure, protein bars, fruit. And I mean, the 5 a.m. thing, I think I answered that question when we were on the road and we were having a lot of 5 a.m. lobby calls. So I don't get up at 5 a.m. just to have something to eat, but I do have very high metabolism, so I am hungry all the time.
All right, Nathan, you're on the hot seat. We found out you love to work with stained glass. What's the best piece you've ever made?
Oh, I haven't gotten too into it. I made a candle holder once, I was pretty proud of that. Now, you like window catcher things.
Sure.
But I haven't tackled a window or anything.
How about the hardest piece?
The candle holder.
Yeah, it sounds pretty intricate, probably.
All right. You wear long sleeves and long pants all year round, even here in Dublin in August. How come?
I think that I can take a lot of heat, and I don't like the sun on my skin necessarily. So it's not like an allergy or anything. I just like staying covered up. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I dance in jackets, and I'm used to the heat. I don't know. I was born in a sauna or something.
So we don't see those crazy legs.
Yeah.
We hear you actually love washing dishes by hand. If this is not a joke, could you please tell us the best dish soap to use?
Oh my God. I'm not too fussy about that. I have some natural kind there at the moment. But yeah, no, I find it very meditative. It's very I don't know, I just zone out or sometimes I just put on a podcast and go to town, and it probably takes me even longer than it should because I'm interested in what I'm listening to. So, but yeah, I don't know the names of the soap that I use, unfortunately.
What's the dish soap in Ireland?
Oh, Fairy liquid.
Oh, Fairy liquid. I'm going to call all dish liquid that from now on. Dish detergent is going to be Fairy liquid.
All right, Jon, you've seen the level of questions that we've been asking here. So we hear you don't stretch before dancing. How is this possible?
Well, I've gotten a bit older since
he's going to start stretching.
No, I mean, I'm not going to speak for Nathan, but our style of dance, like, warm up and stretching was never really focused on as a kind of part of the whole process. So there was a good few decades there where I didn't bother. You just put the shoe, like bending over to tie the dance shoes. That's stretching.
All right. We heard that you're quite a Seinfeld fan. You've seen every episode like 10 times or maybe more. So do you have a favorite episode?
Oh, I certainly have many. And again, since you got that information, I think I've seen them even more times. So,
They just get better.
Basically, any episode where Elaine dances.
Yes. Love it.
That's it. Oh, I wish everyone could see the dance moves.
Any episode that has Newman. Or any episode that has Jay Peterman.
Jay Peterman. Yeah.
Yes.
That is funny. All right. So we dispelled the myth that Cara eats at 5 a.m. So we heard that you don't have a first meal until 7 p.m.
That is often true, yes. I'll do the cup of coffee in the morning. Sometimes lunch is of zero interest to me. And so, yeah, that brings me to dinner time, which is
a feast.
Depending on if the Toronto Blue Jays are playing, I might have to eat before the game. Or
hey, they're in first place right now, so you shouldn't be too upset with them.
They are doing very well, and let's hope they continue to do so.
Yeah.
At one point, you were thinking about medical school and pursuing a science degree. Is that right? And what changed that?
That's correct. I went to Queen's University in Ontario here. And the plan was kind of like a pre-med program. And I alluded to that musical that came Nathan and I's way before called Swing Step. So basically that call came in and I had to make a decision. Am I going to drop school and defer a year and give this musical a shot, or should I do as all the parental figures are telling me and get the degree, make sure I have that tucked away, and then pursue a performance career? But I kind of thought this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, so let's give the performance a try and defer 1 year, and never went back.
Rest is history.
And finally, if you had to our listeners that, let's say they've never been to the Dublin Irish Festival, why should they go to the Dublin Irish Festival to see you perform?
Oh my gosh, you're just going to have so much fun. The show is really fun. You're going to get to see 3 different styles of dance with an amazing band. We're there to entertain you, and we just want to share our love of dance with you. That's why you should come.
And if you don't like us, there's plenty else to do.
That's true.
Well, let's leave it right there. Jon, Cara, Nathan, we cannot wait to see you at the 2025 Dublin Irish Festival. You're engaging storytellers and such incredible dancers, musicians, and performers. We will see you soon.
Thank you for having us. And come see the Step Crew.
Awesome. And to our listeners, we hope to see you at the 38th Dublin Irish Festival. Download the Diff app and visit DublinIrishFestival.org for all the details. Tune in next time as we continue to explore the many personalities and experiences that make Dublin a thriving place to live, work, and grow.